Hi everyone, my name's Aaron McGuire and today I'm going to talk about the new Charlie Kaufman movie, I'm Thinking of Ending Things. This is the latest film written and directed by Charlie Kaufman, based off a book by Ian Reid of the same name. And I've always wanted to see some of Charlie Kaufman's other movies like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, Anomalisa, Synecdoche, New York. But just from seeing Being John Malkovich and Adaptation, I could tell that this was a filmmaker I'd want to see a lot more of. I was just so impressed by his ideas and his ability to create such different and thought-provoking movies, unlike anything I'd ever seen before. And with this new movie, I'm Thinking of Ending Things, he did it again! The film follows a young woman who's going to meet her boyfriend's parents. Meanwhile, she's internally thinking about if the relationship is even good for her. And that's all I want to say about the story, actually, because it does get a bit complicated. And I know that many people are going to be very confused watching this movie, as was I. About half of the time I didn't really know what was happening, but what kept my attention were the amazing performances, the brilliant direction, the incredible screenplay. Every line of dialogue, every facial expression, every movement, every cut feels so deliberate and so carefully planned out. Even when the conversation is completely mundane, you can tell exactly how the characters are feeling and what their focus is on, even though they don't explicitly say it out loud. These specific word choices and the tiny inflections in their voices are so telling and so perfectly directed. Jesse Plemons is so believable as this character who's very awkward and very insecure, always trying to correct people when they're wrong. Jesse Buckley is fantastic and definitely carries a majority of the movie. Toni Collette and David Thewlis, or I don't know how to say his name, I'm sorry. David Thewlis do a terrific job playing Jesse Plemons' parents, playing them at different ages so believably. And you really feel their passive aggressiveness, their sadness, and their desire to be liked. The cinematography is beautiful, even though the film takes place in very limited locations. The editing is perfect. The whimsical music score definitely adds a lot to the movie, and there are some unnerving songs for some of the more tense scenes in the movie. Just everything about this movie feels so perfect. The performances, the direction, the screenplay, the cinematography, the editing, the music, everything is just so perfectly done. And even though it's very confusing for a lot of the movie, especially during your first watch, now that I've seen the entire movie and I've thought about it for a few days, a lot of the themes definitely hit home a lot better, and I definitely understand what the movie was going for, or at least my own interpretation of it. It's like everything just suddenly clicked in my head and everything made sense, and it just completely blew my mind. And I can't wait to see this movie again with a new lens. And I feel like this is a movie that I could watch over and over and just keep getting more and more out of. Please keep in mind though that this is a very challenging movie, as in it doesn't really explain anything, it doesn't hold your hand throughout. And it's definitely a movie that requires a lot of attention while you're watching it and a lot of thought afterward. And just looking at this movie on its surface, it does just seem like a movie just people talking and it's awkward. But there's a lot going on beneath the surface. There's just so much subtext in every single second of this movie. And keep in mind that a lot of the themes in this movie are also very challenging. Themes including the very scary and real possibility that we may grow old and not achieve the things that we may have wanted to our entire lives. The fear of dying alone and wasting your life. So yeah, if you don't want to think about those things, or if you don't want to confront those themes, yeah, this may not be the movie for you. But I do feel like this movie delivers its themes and its messages in such an entertaining, thought-provoking, and attention-grabbing way. This movie is very disorienting, unnerving, tense, disturbing, creative, bleak, moving, entertaining, and there's just so much about this movie that I just absolutely love. And just like the other Charlie Kaufman movies that I've seen, it does make me really excited to see more movies, knowing that there are more voices out there who have stories to tell that are so original and thought-provoking. And even if you've seen 1,000 movies or 2,000 movies, there's still so much more to discover. I'm Thinking of Ending Things completely blew me away. It is a one-of-a-kind movie. It's a movie that I'm definitely going to be seeing again, and it is absolutely my favorite movie of the year so far, and I don't know how anything can top it. It's on Netflix right now, just keep in mind it is a bit of a slow burn, but it is truly an amazing movie and I can't recommend it enough. And I'm gonna give I'm Thinking of Ending Things a 9 out of 10, or maybe a 10 out of 10. I will have to think about that. I'm more comfortable giving it a 9 right now. Perhaps I'll see it later and I'll give it a 10, but right now it's a 9. Yeah. Well, anyway, thank you very much for watching this review. Thank you for listening, and thank you all for existing. You're all important, you're all loved, and I love you. Keep wearing your mask, keep telling your stories, keep getting your stories out there. They're important and we need them. Definitely check this movie out. Definitely check out some of Charlie Kaufman's other movies. They're mind-bending and weird, but I love them. And that is all from me. I don't know how to end these videos. Goodbye.